All right. Hey, how's it, everybody? It is right around 5 p.m. West Coast time. I'm going to call it 3 p.m. Hawaii time, 8 p.m. on that there East Coast, and 7 p.m. for our Central Time folk. I am Mad Statter today, and this is Chatter with Statter. Sorry about the delayed start. I was literally working on the stream until 5 o'clock, and then I noticed, oh, it's 5 o'clock, and I still haven't done things that I need to do. So, yeah, all right. Sorry about that, but it looks like we have quite a few folks who are in the chatter room. Let's see here. I'm gonna assume Shock is still here because she was here first, and we've got Darlene in the house saying aloha to me and everybody. Michael Anthony Smith, you're here. Fantastic. E-Music, good to see you. Let's see here. Terry in Scotland came in with a party of three raiding on in. We've got Terry, we've got Katie's Aura, and let's see who else might we have coming in with that raid. I'm not sure yet, but it looks like we've still got Michael Anthony Smith hanging out. And, oh, DJ Smook. I had a feeling it might be DJ Smook. Normally, I would say it's Pinnell, but I do believe Pinnell takes Sunday off of the interwebs, so it makes sense it was DJ Smook. E-Music in the house as well. I think I mentioned that, but if I didn't, well, all right. Terry's in a desperate situation. That's okay, Terry. We have got something in my eye, so we've got plenty of time. All right, we've got plenty of time. Let's see here. We've got Rick coming in saying, how's it? And then we have got, let's see here. Why do I think that Shock is on the YouTube side? Well, I think she is on the YouTube side. And let's see here. That is correct, Darlene. I don't think Pinnell's going to be here tonight, as per the usual. And let's see here. It should play through one time for 1 minute. Don't leave the stream or the minute will restart. Don't know what that meant, but I bet you she knew what she meant. All right, cool. Mama Sean, good to see you. And then Picola T subscribing for 40 months. Oh my goodness. All right, a very jet-lagged Picola T back home and waving aloha to the crew. Fantastic. Thank you so much for being here, sharing with us all your travels, and of course the 40-month sub. And all right, I'm getting there. Trail Dust here, having dinner. Can't chew and type at the same time. I understand. I actually do. It makes no sense, but it makes perfect sense. And alrighty, we've got Kenny from the Cove saying, howdy, Statterbox fam. And then Michael Anthony Smith finally saying, Mad Statter, because I think I finally showed up. And I know, late to my own party. How awful is that? I mean, I just can't even. But there was a reason. And Michael Anthony Smith, thank you for the compliment on the glasses, but I have to take them off for a second because I've got something stuck between my glasses and my face, and it's bothering me. All right, then. Let's see here. Yep, exactly, Katie. Pinnell don't do Sundays. That is right. All right, so I think... Whew, boy, howdy. I think I got to the bottom of the chat. So, aloha all. How's it? Welcome. Today on Chatter with Statter, we will not have our Black Cat intro because I did not re-download it. I did not clip grab it from one of my old streams. So for those of you who might not have been here in the last week or two, or who might have missed the one particular show, I lost 2 terabytes worth of, well, maybe not 2 terabytes, a potential 2 terabytes worth of information. Pretty much all of the backbone of Chatter with Statter. A lot of the files that I use mandatorily, such as the Black Cat intro, no longer exist in my possession. I have not made a move to get that fixed yet, so for all those who are wondering what's the status of this, it remains on my desk, and it has not been touched, and there you go. So, yeah, Black Cat, consider yourself introduced, precisely. And so yeah, so that's what's going on with that. And then Terry in Scotland, I posted a movie link on my Discord. It's Wolves, starring George Clooney and Brad Pitt. Fun movie. I'm assuming you mean George Clooney and Brad Pitt. And it's Wolves. Okay, I'll take a look at that. It's not Wolves of Wall Street, is it? That's a different movie, right? Because I have no desire to watch Wolves of Wall Street. And so let's see here. But I'm assuming Okay, I just read Nicola T said, Terry, I just watched that on the plane. It's a very cute flick. Okay, very clearly not Wolves of Wall Street. Good to know. Good to know. All right, so yeah, I'll definitely be checking that out. Alrighty, let's see here. Yeah, after my busy tax time, I'll have more time to address that little black box. Precisely, yeah. And actually, what it really boiled down to was I didn't have enough money to. Okay, so the reality is, I need to get this fixed, and in getting it fixed, I need to extract data from here and put the data on something new. Well, I didn't have money for both. I could maybe get it fixed, but I wouldn't be able to extract it onto anything. Or I could get the thing to get extracted onto, but I wouldn't have the money to get it fixed. So I'm waiting until payday, which is Monday, which is tomorrow. So that is helpful. But yeah, I might actually just try to rebuild with what I can and then focus on getting that later. But that is definitely a focus of mine because I realize all of my Hawaii pictures and Hawaii videos are on the broken drive, and that's not acceptable. And Mama Sean coming in with what I was just about to share, sent you a new picture of the board. A huge thank you to all of you that sent cards to the kids. They were really happy with all the cards they got. Mahalo nui loa. And Michael Anthony Smith, yeah, I'm pretty bummed too, but on the bright side, Michael Anthony Smith, the vast majority of the videos that I made while I was on Hawaii, or on Oahu, in Hawaii on Oahu, I have created YouTube videos using clips or parts of it, or sometimes even the entire thing. So I do have at least traces and remnants, which sometimes is all you can hope for. But I am hoping to get the core files, the large files, the whole, like the full unedited shebang. And Picola T, exactly, we can rebuild. We have the technology. We just don't have the $6 million. Yes, that is exactly where I'm at this weekend. Exactly. And Darlene, yeah, exactly. I'm going to do all that I can, but this was a relatively inexpensive lesson to learn. A lot of the stuff on here isn't necessarily worth saving. It's just sort of like fun to go back and look at, like, oh, that's what I did on December 22nd, 2022 for our show. Who knew that that's when we talked about Zippies for an hour and a half or whatever, you know? But there are some other very important things on this thing, like the Black Cat intro, like my Hawaii stuff. So it will be happening. And, let's see here. Oh, whoa, dude. Terry in Scotland, you're waiting for payday 2. You're going to get some augmented reality glasses that project a 130-inch screen right in front of your eyeballs. I can't even imagine. And yeah, exactly. Sentimental, though, counts too. Yeah, and it's the Oahu trip videos and pictures, and it's the backbone files of this stream that are what I'm really missing. The other stuff is just extraneous, but you know, I'm going to save it all or I'm going to save it none, I'm guessing is how that's going to work. But regardless of my boohoo situation, it will get fixed, I hope. What I wanted to show you guys as soon as I can find it is this is the postcard wall. This is the postcard wall that Mama Sean was talking about. And so I'm going to leave this up for a little bit in case you guys are like, hey, I think that's mine. Ooh, I think that looks like mine. Ooh, I think I see the one I sent. And so this is what the wall looks like so far. Now, I don't know if the wall is closed, but if the wall isn't closed, then you can still send the postcards to this particular address. This is the address that all of those cards were sent to, and this is where those cards eventually ended up on the wall here. And so if you are thinking you would love... Oh no, I just realized something. If you're thinking you would love to to send one of those things. Postcards. Sorry, just got really distracted there for a second. That's where you send them, and this is where they will end up. And so thank you so much, Mama Sean, for sending up that updated board. And if they still keep filling up, I would love to see bigger pictures. And oh my goodness, Rick, I can't believe that it hadn't even occurred to me. And you know I am in complete agreement. Rick suggests, you think they have a pin map showing where they all came from? Ugh, if they don't, ma, oh ma, I will send them a world map. Oh, ma, they better have a map. Oh, they better have a map. And Michael Anthony Smith, yep, take your old man butt to bed. It is a school night after all. You probably won't be missing much. We've only got a couple things to talk about here. But before you go to bed, if you want to hang out just for this cute little thing, I saw this. There's nothing to talk about with this. There's nothing, not one thing. I just saw it and I was like, oh, it's so cute. I want this. I mean, I don't want it. I mean, I do want it. This is how I'm going to die. It's a mama cougar with her 3 baby cubs that are kind of big. And I think it's like a trail cam or like maybe a den cam. It's in the wild. I think it's in Canada. I can't tell you that part. I didn't care. I just saw all these cute kittens. Look at these cute kittens. I love these cute kittens so much. That one kitten thinks he sees something, and I think he does see something. Looks like he sees the camera, but he's like, I don't know what that is. Do I want to fight it? Do I want to fight it? I'm going to hide from it. I don't want to fight it anymore. I'm going to go where it's safe. That's what that one kitten said. It's time to leave now. They see us. They see us. We better leave now. Oh, yeah. Going over there saying, oh, aren't you so cute? Then Mama Cougar. No, dude. If not friend, why friend shaped? That's what I have to say to Mama Cougar. If you're not my friend, why are you friend shaped? You're the shape of a friend. And, yeah, so, it's only 2 minutes of this and we don't really need to watch any more of it if we don't want, but I thought it was super cute and I really liked it. And so I can only assume that, that this must be some kind of sort of remote controlled camera, because Lord help us if there's actually someone that close moving that camera around. And yes, you're totally right. They look like little mustaches, little, what are they called? The bar handle? No, handlebar mustaches is what they've all got. Yes, there we go. Handlebar mustaches. All right. Good night, Michael Anthony Smith. Sweet dreams, and think of kittens that are maybe friendlier than this. And I don't know how common it is for mom cougars to have 3, but for some reason I feel like 3 cubs is kind of like a lot. And Bacolity, yes, I can definitely handle a bar. And ooh, Terry, that sounds awesome. Pinnell used to get us to raid out to a live cam of wolves. That would be a cool thing to raid out to. I would probably spend more time than I intended watching that stream, to tell you the truth. Yeah, not gonna lie. All right, you guys. So now that will there be background music? Well, maybe there should be. Actually, why isn't there? Why isn't there background music? Why isn't there background music? Hold on, let me see what's going on. Is there music now? Is there? Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I don't know why. What? Thanks. I truly thought that there was some on. All right, there we go. Alrighty then. So, all right. So, what we're going to talk about today is a whole lot of pop cultural nonsense for the most part. But I figured I would help you guys who might or might not have, let's see here. What am I trying to say? All right. So in the world, we've got this thing. It's called sports ball, and sports ball just had its big game, and the halftime show for the big game seemed to make more news after the big game than the big game actually made news. So I was going to talk a little bit about Kendrick Lamar and the halftime show, because the more I hear people talking about it, the more I hear the older generation of people talking about it, the more I laugh and just think, oh wow, they really didn't get it. And it starts out with, first off, like, and by the way, when I say they really didn't get it, it's not, I mean that with no shade. I mean that with no judgment. Honestly, you know, you're not the age group 18 to 36 that the NFL and advertisers are going for. So I'm not of that age group, right? Now, I vaguely knew who Kendrick Lamar was before the halftime, but not enough to tell people who ask me, who is Kendrick Lamar anyway? I've never heard of him. Which, okay, valid, you've never heard of him. That's cool. So let's talk about that. Who is Kendrick Lamar? Uh-oh, hold on. There is no background music on this one. Hold on. There we go. All right, so who is Kendrick Lamar? This is a really, really good question, you guys. He's a rapper. He's a hip-hop artist. He is from Oakland, California, and I believe his first album came out in 2011. Maybe it was 2008. All I can tell you is I feel confident in 2011 enough to say 2011, which means he's been around for a long time. He isn't just a nobody. Not only has he been around for a long time, he actually has 6 albums out. And not only does he have 6 albums out, he's actually been nominated for a Grammy more than 57 times, and 22 of them he's won. 2025 Grammy Award was for, he won several, but one was for the best rap song of the year, and one was for the song of the year. And that particular song was called They Not Like Us. And that particular song we're going to talk about later on, because there's a lot going on with that song. But in addition to the Grammys, did you know that he's also the only contemporary music performer in the history of the world that has won a Pulitzer Prize for music? Normally, that award, which he won in 2018, is reserved for jazz and reserved for classical music. But his level of storytelling and his ability to tell a story within a song is so layered and so deep. He actually has won a Pulitzer for it. And these aren't just the only prizes he has won. He's obviously won the Billboard Music Awards prizes many times, MTV Music Award prizes, BET prizes, and the NAACP Award prizes for a lot of his media stuff. So, he actually is somebody. And just because a lot of us haven't heard of him doesn't really mean that he's not heard of. In fact, during his performance of his most controversial song at the end, it is very, very clear that the entire stadium is singing along with this man. And we're going to talk about that later as well. And so what I really want to do, though, is break down for you, Cola T, I also feel like if he was still around, Tupac would have eventually been awarded a Pulitzer for his lyrics. That is something that I believe many people would agree with. he definitely was taken down before he had an opportunity to really show the world the full body of his work, obviously. But for those of you who may or may not have watched the halftime show, the halftime show started out, and this is another thing that actually a lot of older folk don't realize. This didn't even cross their mind. And you guys, no shade, I am too old for this. I didn't even catch this. But at the beginning of the performance, anybody who's younger than the age of 35 would be able to tell you, actually probably anybody under the age of 45 would be able to tell you, oh, that stage is an Xbox game controller. It's an Xbox game controller. The X, the triangle, the whatever, all this. So, that wasn't an accident. And so, I'm going to show you this little clip, and then we're going to go through all of the chapters of that performance where Samuel L. Jackson, who's playing Uncle Sam, is coming in with his judgments. And by the way, I'm not going to be the one talking about it. There's a comedian named Josh Johnson that you guys need to check out. He's the one I'm going to be showing clips of, explaining to you what was going on there. Because frankly, I'm in no position to discuss this, but Josh Johnson sure is. So first off, let's just talk about
what's the significance behind the PlayStation buttons at Kendrick Lamar's halftime show.
And no, it's not a GTA cheat code.
In an interview with Wired, the art director for the show, Shelley Rogers, confirmed that the idea for a video game theme came from K-Dot himself, and that the whole performance was, quote, intended to portray Lamar's life as a video game. Furthermore, it was intended to show, quote, his journey, traveling through the American dream. As for anything deeper than that, so far it's just theories.
All right, so that's that. Let's see here. And, oh gosh darn it. Let's see here. Yes, exactly, Terry in Scotland. Molly didn't realize it was an Xbox controller since I was born in the 1900s. Exactly. And, let's see here. Anyway, so we've got the Xbox controller. Now, let's actually see a little bit about how that works. So, Samuel L. Jackson coming in, boom. And I'm basically just going to go through a lot of these clips one after another. Yeah, this is how it's going to go. Boop.
Salutations! It's your Uncle Sam. And this is the Great American Game.
Is playing Uncle Sam, and Body of America, welcoming us to the Great American Game. The Great American Game is in the game of Kendrick's life that's about to play out, right? That's why we see the PlayStation controller on the football field, the game as in football, and the game as in the thing that we're all in, the thing that we all play. Whether you feel like you're playing it or not, you're a part of it.
Squabble up. No. Too loud, too reckless, too ghetto. Mr. Lamar, do you really know how to play the game? Then tighten up.
So then this dude, Uncle Sam, Samuel Jackson, tells him, tighten up. He asks him, Mr. Lamar, do you really know how to play the game? Yeah. Do you really know how to navigate? Do you really know what's expected of you? Do you really know what to do next? Yeah. Then tighten up. Yeah. And that's a wild conversation to have with someone who maybe even thinks they're helping you, right? Because that's been told to me in different ways by lots of people. Like, tighten up. Watch yourself. Don't be too loud, too ghetto, too reckless. You know what I mean? And sometimes it's white people, sure. But sometimes it's older black people that I know that just want you to be safe. Because they know how the game is.
How annoying.
So then this dude.
Okay, so I think I accidentally forgot one of the important Josh clips. So what I'm going to have to do now is go see if I can find it. Because, let's see here. No. That's that. Three, and then, hold on, wait. Oh no. All right. Oh, maybe I didn't. All right, so let's go back here. All right.
How annoying. From the boys in the game, I speak ashamed of me. It's important, I deserve it all because it's mine. Why you think you deserve the greatest of all time?
Oh, see, you brought your homeboys with you. The old culture cheat code. Scorekeeper, deduct one life.
And you see these boys on the block, so black. Gold teeth, dreads, everything. And then they scurry, they see Uncle Sam coming. Uncle Sam walks up, Kendrick's already walked off, and he says, oh, you brought your homeboys with you. Okay, little culture cheat code. Turns to the camera and says, scorekeeper, deduct one life. Samuel Jackson, turn, scorekeeper, deduct one life. And that thing hit me hard because that is what happens. That is part of the game. You should know that. That's one of the reasons that it's sometimes scary to stand up. It's scary to be different. Because whenever you build community, they usually deduct one life. Whenever you make a movement, they deduct one life. And there are plenty of examples of it happening with black people and black culture, but it is everybody, just so you know. No matter who you are, no matter what you look like, no matter when you came to this country, try to start a union. And look, it might not be you. They might miss. But it is what happens. Deduct one life. And it's wild to hear Samuel Jackson deliver that line because Samuel Jackson was an usher at Martin Luther King.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That's what America wants. Nice and calm. You're almost there. Don't mess this.
Oh no.
It's a cultural divide. I'ma get it on the flow.
You really about to do it?
40 acres in the mule. This is bigger than the music.
You really about to do it?
Yeah, they tried to rig the game, but you can't fake influence.
Then get on it like that.
Hey, I'm tripping, I'm sliding, I'm riding through the back like bro. Bust that on a beat, bro. Beat.
All right, and so I did actually not grab a Josh clip that I meant to grab, but but basically Josh goes on to explain how goes on with a little bit of, America likes things calm. They don't like your protests to be loud. They want your protests to be sedate. And he's got a real funny bit about that. Oh, I remember why I didn't clip it. It was actually too long. But I encourage you to, if you're curious. Okay, first off, these clips that I took from Josh Johnson, as everyone has said, he has his own YouTube channel. He is probably one of the most prolific comedians that are performing today. He's an up-and-comer. He used to be a writer for The Daily Show on Comedy Central. He might still be a writer for The Daily Show on Comedy Central. However, he is on tour constantly so much that I don't think he has time to be in New York to be a writer on The Daily Show at the moment. But he has basically... for the last year, every Friday he comes out with a live performance, a clip of a live performance that he had done that week. And essentially it's at least a 45-minute set. And every set is different. So what I'm telling you right now is he, at least once a week, has come up with a 45-minute unique set for about the past year. That's about, 60 hours worth of comedy 52 hours worth of 45 hours worth of comedy in the last year, fresh, written off the top of his head. And frankly, I wouldn't be surprised if he's written even more than that, because it is the video that we get to see on Friday has to do with is taken from one of the shows that he does in the previous week. And for all I know, he could have a different show every single night of the week. We're just getting blessed with a free 45-minute broadcast every Friday night. And Andre, good to see you. And yeah, Josh definitely has commentary in with his comedy, and this is the clips that I just showed you are full on commentary. But between his commentary, he's got stories of his own stuff, and he relates his own stories in some of his most hysterical ways. One of the things he was trying to explain in regards to like right after one of the clips that I showed, I cut it right before he went into a story about himself, because he was like, I don't know if you can tell, but I'm not a hard person. He's just like, I don't really look like I've, got control of the streets, blah, blah, blah. In fact, there was this one time in college, this girl, she asked for, we were in a study group, and she asked for someone to walk her to her car, and I was feeling like a gentleman, and so I volunteered to walk her to her car. And then she asked again, so can someone walk us to my car? That's, anyway, he says it much funnier. So, Josh Johnson, definitely worth checking out if you wish. Now, the reason also why I'm bringing up this particular what am I saying, topic is because even if you didn't care for the music, even if you don't care for all of the layers of what's going on, what you did, however, witness was was the beginning of a new dance. And
sometimes you gotta pop out and show.
I'm telling you, man, people all over the world are doing this. I know that the Chicago Bears had the Super Bowl shuffle. I don't know what this one's gonna be called, but this dance has taken off worldwide. Very simple dance, but if you did happen to watch the Super Bowl, you witnessed a whole new dance coming around, and people are loving it. It's that little it's that little swag, that little skip in their step right there. Everybody, I mean, literally, dude, everybody's doing it. And frankly, I just love that. And so, now, Andre, it started at the Grammys performance and the music video. Okay, cool. Well, there you go. Color me corrected. Precisely. There we have it. And so the culmination of his performance basically was the Andre, yes, exactly. So the culmination of his performance ended with the Grammy winning song of the year, the Grammy winning rap song of the year, which is based on a fight that Kendrick Lamar is currently and has been embroiled in with a Canadian rapper named Drake. And Drake and Kendrick Lamar have been feuding for about 12 years now. The first diss track between them, I believe, came out in 2013. I can't begin to tell you what the what the beef started at, what the beef is in particular. I don't know, but what I do know is this: it has culminated into a very popular song that Drake is suing Kendrick Lamar's record label over, saying that it promotes danger. It's promoting, I don't remember what the wording is, but basically Drake feels very called out and in danger of his life because in this song, Kendrick outright calls Drake a PDF file. If you know what that means in a code way, I don't really want to say that word because YouTube don't like it. But Drake has a very troubling history with young girls publicly. And it makes certain people feel a certain kind of way. And I'm one of those people. 38-year-old man is not exactly something that someone that should be hanging out with 14-year-old girls. I don't care if you're in the music industry together. I don't care. Millie Bobby Brown, Billie Eilish, or whatever her name is, the Eilish lady. No, he's had some situations with younger women that are eyebrow raising. Okay? Now, Andre bringing in a deeper thing, which I had no idea. There's a reference in the song They Not Like Us where Kendrick Lamar says, "You're trying to strike a chord and I think it's A minor." And he means that literally. Drake is half black, half white. But a lot of people refer to Drake as white in the hip hop scene. And so Andre pointing out A minor is a key only using the white keys. Had no idea about that, but I have no doubt in my mind that Kendrick had every idea about that. And so this particular diss track basically well, in Canada, the age of consent in some provinces is like 13. That's cool, but the deal is, dude, in America, it's not. And so, yeah. And anyway, I don't know what the age of consent is in Ontario, but he lives in Toronto, and I would like to think that Toronto people know better than to hang out with 13-year-olds. And so anyway, let's see here. November 22nd, 2004, Lamar's album GNX includes several tracks that reference the feud with whacked out murals, most directly addressing it. Lamar implies that Drake attempted to pay off sources for dirt on him and critiques of Drake's associates. There's a lot of stuff going on with them. But what I do know is Drake is not happy with the allegations, and I'm sure he's really not happy with an entire stadium.
This was the moment inside the stadium at the Super Bowl after Kendrick Lamar said that line during Not Like Us. The entire stadium sang it at the same time.
Like I'm young, you better not ever go to cell block 1. To any that talk to 'em and they in love, just make sure you hide your little sister from them. They tell me Chubb the only one to get your hand-me-downs. Party at the party playing with his nose now. Baka got a weird case, why I see around. Certified lover boy, certified. I'm on them tough. I'ma do my stuff. Why you trolling like a, ain't you tired? Trying to strike a chord and it's probably A minor.
So, just so you know, the whole stadium, you could hear it from the field in the stadium. Both those clips show that everybody in that stadium was singing along with that song. That song has hit a chord. And now, wait, there is a little bit more. So, Kendrick's doing this song that his label is being sued over by Drake. Kendrick also, during this performance, had not one, but 2 of Drake's exes performing with them. Right before Samuel L. Jackson came on to say, yeah, that's nice. That's how America likes it. Nice and calm, nice and smooth. He was singing a love song duet with a woman named SZA. And SZA used to date Drake when she was 16. And he was older than her by a little bit. Now, Why do I keep losing the tunes? That is so weird. So SZA was one of the performers with him, with Kendrick at the Super Bowl show. But the other particular little, diss, as it were, was Serena Williams. Serena Williams also used to date Drake. And so to have two of Drake's exes on the stage with Kendrick Lamar was a slap in the face. And everybody who knew about this like, people of my age had no clue about all the stuff that's going on down there on the stage, but there was so many things. And so let's look at Serena, and then Josh has got something to say about Serena as well.
They not like us. No. They not like us. No. They not like us. What? They not like us. No. They not like us. No. They not like us.
Dance is not just like this FU to Drake. Is one also, we're playing the game, right? We're all part of the game. And it's a black woman having a good time. It was also pre-revolutionary. You know? And if you follow Serena, and if you follow tennis, you'll know that when she did the same dance at Wimbledon, they came for her hard. They said it was too loud, too reckless, too ghetto. And now she's doing it in front of the world. In front of the world with nothing but joy and people cheering her on, right? Giving us full circle moments. I thought that was so dope. You know? I even tried to do it. I hurt myself.
So I love that he said that he tried to do it and he hurt himself. But yeah. So lots of stuff going on that particular show, that particular halftime show. And as much as people say they hated it, which is fine, they can hate it all they want. The fact of the matter is, it is the most watched Super Bowl ever, a Super Bowl halftime show ever. And so it obviously struck a chord, perhaps not A minor, but it did definitely strike a chord. And so Drake was on the Degrassi High TV show. Yes, that is true. He actually, well, semi-true. He wasn't on Degrassi High. He was on Degrassi The Next Generation. And I only say that because I am old enough to remember the original Degrassi, which came out in the 1900s. And it came out when it was the first few seasons was Degrassi Junior High. And then when they went into Degrassi High, the television show became Degrassi High. Then, many decades later, they came out with Degrassi The Next Generation, and that is where Drake came in. Drake did he played a character on that particular, he played a character on that particular show. That character in the story arc eventually, I can't remember what happened, I'm going to say a car accident. He ended up in a wheelchair. And then after his character was in a wheelchair, his character started to rap on the show. But it was part of his character development. It was just part of the character. Like dude was just an actor at this point, right? So he's on this television show, Degrassi The Next Generation. He's doing his little rappy rap stuff. And Lil Wayne, a rapper from way back when, well, still, a rapper from New Orleans, a rapper, ironically enough, some people thought should have been performing at the Super Bowl this year because it was taking place in New Orleans, and Lil Wayne is a New Orleans boy, and so they were like, Lil Wayne should be the performer, not Kendrick Lamar. But that's not what happened. Anyway, Lil Wayne actually discovered Drake. Lil Wayne was a fan of Degrassi The Next Generation, and he watched this actor, this kid, because he was still a kid, 15, 16 years old. He's like, wow, man, he's got some flow. And so Lil Wayne discovered Drake, basically, and brought him to the studio. And now now Drake is his own hip-hop star, bona fide hip-hop star in and of itself. In fact, most people don't even remember that he was an actor first. But as Andre pointed out, he's kind of got the child star curse, it seems, at this point. And so, yeah, Lil Wayne wanted Kendrick's spot on the Super Bowl. And, and Lil Wayne is a bit conflicted in your mind. I don't think Lil Wayne would have been a good choice for this year's Super Bowl, mostly because he's not nearly as culturally relevant as he was, but 5-10 years ago, Whereas Kendrick Lamar is very culturally relevant. Just in February of 2025, i.e. this month, he won Grammy Song of the Year. So, you love it. One of the best performances at a Super Bowl. Yeah, Andre, you are one of the few voices that are saying that. I actually agree. Once I delved into what was, because I didn't watch it. I was at a Super Bowl party, but I didn't watch the halftime show. I never watched the halftime show. I don't anticipate I ever would enjoy the halftime show, so I just didn't watch it. But then when I heard of all this controversy, I was like, I gotta look into this, y'all. And so the more I looked into it, the more I was like, well, I mean, maybe this wasn't an appropriate show for the Super Bowl, because I admit, Super Bowl people are not maybe in the mood for a multi-layered metaphorical performance about someone's, about the American game. Maybe the Super Bowl isn't exactly the place for that show. That's a different conversation. I just thought that it was an amazing show because it really had a lot going on. And Andre, it kind of divided by race, who likes it and who hated it. I kind of disagree. I think it was more age, because there are plenty of white people who had no problem with it. It's really an age. I really think it was an age thing, but I think actually we're probably both right. Because there's definitely a racial divide, without a doubt. But it seems like a lot of the younger white folk who are fans of Kendrick Lamar had no problem with, they thought the show was awesome. But yeah, so that was basically, there's so much more that was going on in that show than what just outlined here. And so, but basically that is sort of like the gist of it. And, so now hopefully you'll have a little bit better understanding of what was going on there. But some people, they don't want that in their Super Bowl performance, their halftime performance. They just want musicians to stand on the stage. And that's a valid request. But to me, when you're at the Super Bowl, putting on a show seems a little bit more appropriate. But everyone has a different idea of what is an appropriate show for the Super Bowl. But this is what went down this year. And let's see here. Terry in Scotland coming in with, who the hell is Lil Wayne? Well, Lil Wayne is Dwayne Michael Carter Jr., known professionally as Lil Wayne, is an American rapper. He's often regarded as one of the most influential hip-hop artists of his generation, as well as one of the greatest rappers of all time. Born and raised in New Orleans, he was discovered by hometown rapper Birdman in 1993 and signed with his record label Cash Money Records at age 11. Holy crumbly wumbly. I had no idea that Lil Wayne had been around in the scene since he was 11. Wow. Well, no flippin' wonder. He is considered an icon in New Orleans. He is for sure old school, as it were. What was I going to say? Oh yeah, and then also another thing I forgot to mention, which is sort of doesn't matter. If you hear of anyone referring to someone as K-Dot, K-Dot is another name for Kendrick Lamar. When Kendrick Lamar was just a little beginning rapper dude, he came out on the scene as K-Dot. And so he did a couple mixtapes as K-Dot. So he's referred to both as K-Dot and as Kendrick Lamar. And, by the way, Kendrick Lamar was a straight A student in high school. He was absolutely he was a really good student. He was really smart. So it doesn't really surprise me that he has won the Pulitzer for music. Andre, you said he won a Peabody. I don't know what Peabodys are about, and I couldn't find that in any of his award accommodations. I think you might be confusing that with a Pulitzer. That being said, definitely correct me if I'm wrong, because I honestly don't know. Isn't a Peabody? What's that Peabody award for? I know it's an award for something, but I can't remember what it's an award for. So I don't know if that one's true or not. I wasn't able to find that on the list. But then again, I ran out of time, which is why we started like 7 minutes late. I totally ran out of time. And so, Darlene, honestly, to have only one kind of performance isn't really fair in the music and entertainment world. All kinds should be allowed to express, even if not your cup of tea. Well, and then it boils down to that. Exactly. And we are right now in a politically charged atmosphere, basically, no matter what you do. So perhaps it would have been a better call to just have some performers singing on stage with their instruments and keep it simple, stupid. But Lamar is not stupid, and he could not keep it simple. Nor did he. And Terry coming in with, what's up, Peabody? The George Foster Peabody Award, or simply Peabody Awards, or the Peabody's program, named for the American businessman and philanthropist George Peabody, honor what are described as the most powerful, enlightening, and invigorating stories in television, radio, and online media. Oh, then he could have won a Peabody Award, I guess. Actually, that doesn't sound outside of the realm of his possibilities. I didn't see that written, but I not 1 ounce of me would be surprised if that is the case. And so, I think, let's see here. I think that's pretty much all I had to talk to you guys about. And I know we're like 15 minutes past the Lono listening break. I get it. The problem is I didn't download any Lono videos. And so, I didn't download any Lono videos. And when I started the stream and I started to get distracted and muttering to myself about, oh no, that was what I was muttering to myself about, because I forgot to upload a Lono video show. Let's see here. What can we do to fix that? Well, first off, what we can do is maybe flip and start some music again. Good God, why does it keep not working when I... Play the music. Play the funky music, white boy. All right. I mean, I'm not implying that Lono's a white boy. He's not. I was just saying that outside my mouth. I didn't. Mama Sean, he got... Okay, so Andre, there you go. He did get a Peabody for writing. I had a feeling that maybe he would have, given the circumstances of that award. So see, I didn't even get that listed. I didn't even get that listed. All right, so let's see here. While we're doing... hold on. Oh, I thought I had downloaded the Tech Crabs, but I didn't. Okay. Let's see here. I don't have anything to do. Oh, I know what I can do. Okay, here's what we're going to do. We're going to... Maybe we're not. We're going to listen to Lono while we watch some kitties, and I'm going to go see if I can grab a Lono video. That's what we're going to do.
Nakaibalu styling, Hawaiian styling.
Alrighty. I got one of them grabbed, and somehow, while I was out of the room, somebody started a hype train. So let's see here. We have got ourselves a quadrillions. Let's see here. Andre, we've got Andre gifting 1 billion subs. And then, so thank you so much. And then Andre gifting, I'm going to say 700 biddies, but my eyes might be lying to me there. Then Andre giving more sub-a-doos. And then Terry and Skyline coming with 1,000 biddies. Then Andre coming in with 600 more biddies. And then we've got Hype Train. And then more biddies from Andre, more biddies from Terry, more biddies from Andre, more subbies from Andre, more biddies from Andre as well. We're like a level quadrillia biddy. That's right, level quadrillia to be. Hype Train, which is pretty awesome. Actually, I don't really know if we're at Hype Train quadrillia buddy yet, but it's pretty high. Ooh, it's pretty hypeful. All right, so I went and I stole a video from Lono's page, but as it turns out, it wasn't a Lono video I stole from Lono's page. It was a Andy Boomatai video that I stole from Lono's page. And because, why? Why? You know why. Because that's what she does. Boop.
I'm just so amazed at how she makes me feel every day. Little bit of this, little bit of that. She's like a cat scratching up my back. She's got her claws in me now. Accidentally, incidentally, I don't know just how it happened. She's got a groove I respect so well. Don't ask me how it started. I was sitting here so broken hearted, looking for a trace. That smile she left on my face. That's what she does. 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 She can take a frown, turn it upside down and inside out. She can take a hurricane, make the day all nice again. Lives in reality, been there, done that, 1, 2, 3. She can please a man and a few women too. Free and single, likes to mingle with the best of the best. What's your position, mommy? Just a little lower now. That's what she does. 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 side. Watch out, thinking that I had it easy. Then she says, oh, please excuse me. Who is that guy right behind of you? I was in shock, thinking, hey, what's up? I was tossing and turning, and my girlfriend woke me up. That's what she does. 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 That's what she does.
All right, there we go. Andre's tired. His fingers are tired from hyping so much. Okay, I am pow on the hype now. I can't believe we got to level 7, you guys. That's an unheard of level of hypedness. Thank you so much, Andre. Thank you so much, Terry. Thank you so much, C Honda, and anybody else who also that I missed. Thank you so much for hyping, and sorry about that. I was trying to get the tunes back up and running. I'm very annoyed with my tunes situation. This is really, really pissing me off. So much so, I'm talking in a different voice right now, and I don't know why. But yeah, that's making me angry with the background music. We're falling apart here, you guys, but oh well. All right, so I ain't got nothing else to talk about, you guys. I'm channeling Marvin the Martian. I thought that sounded familiar. I was like, what? I was like, what was that? But I really want to thank you guys for hanging out for this long and tedious topic of tonight, because I know that it was not some of you guys' cup of tea at all. Some of you all left. But for those of you who didn't leave and who hung out for the long, boring explaining of the situation for the halftime show, I really, really, really appreciate it, because it never hurts to expand your horizons on who and what the kids are listening to these days. And Kendrick Lamar is what the kids are listening to these days. And so now, at least, you know who Kendrick Lamar is. That's all. And so, yeah. Now, the only other thing that I was thinking we could talk about, but I didn't get any pictures for it to show you what I was talking about, but I was thinking about, well, Andre, you're one of the kids, I guess, you know? Because Andre's like, I listen to Kendrick. And Darlene, thank you. You were glad for the explanation for I didn't get it, and now I got more knowledgeable about it. Thank you so much, because that's ultimately what I was trying to explain to older folks who really didn't have any kind of framework to be working from for this performance. Because most people didn't know who the Flying Fork Kendrick Lamar was or is. And unfortunately, I've heard a lot of older, whiter people espousing some views about that halftime show that quite literally made me cringe. And actually, this really did happen. my boss and one of her friends were talking about the show, not in a disparaging way, just in a completely biased way. And I eventually, I know, right, C Honda? That's the irony, right? Yeah, whiter than me? Well, here's what happened, C Honda. I come rushing out of my office at work to scream at my boss and her friend, who's actually whiter than me. You guys are so effing, although I did not say effing, white, it's embarrassing to listen to you talk about this. And they were like, what? And I was like, I won't get into what they were saying because it was so stupid. But ultimately they were expressing how they didn't, how they prefer their music and how they prefer their performances. And they were trying to justify it, and they were doing it so poorly that I eventually had to burst out of my office and say, you guys are so flippin' white. Let me explain to you how white you are and how wrong you are about what you're saying. So, how can someone be whiter than me? Are they albino? Yeah, I mean, I'm literally see-through. Like, you see that? That's not a tattoo. That's veins. Them my veins. And yeah, exactly. You don't have to like it, but there's no reason to criticize it. Precisely, Darlene. And I mean, and some of the things they were saying, oh, that's one of the little things that I got for the hype train. Some of the things they were saying were just so out of touch with reality. I couldn't keep it to myself. One of the things that sort of brought me over the edge was them hypothesizing that dancing on stage as part of a musical performance didn't start happening until MTV happened. MTV happened in 1981, y'all. Can you think of any performers before 1981 that incorporated dancing into their performance on stage? Andre, American Bandstand wasn't necessarily the band dancing, right? It was the other people dancing. They were specifically talking about the performers dancing while they're singing. Now, here's a group that comes to mind. I know they're obscure and no one but me has heard of them, but there was this group in the 70s called the Jackson 5. I don't know. There was this other group called the Supremes. I feel like the Commodores might have been dancing a little bit. But you know, I'm sure Sly and the Family Stone, who performed at Woodstock in 1969, yeah, they just stood still too. I mean, I couldn't... But no dancing started in performances until MTV. Oh, this guy named James Brown. Andre, I've never heard of James Brown. Oh, wait, but you might be onto something there. Yeah, and so that's the conversation that had me burst out of my office and accusing people of being white. Because I couldn't call my boss stupid. That's why. Because basically I couldn't tear out of my flippin' office and call my boss stupid. So, and Andre, do you mean white people did not dance on stage before MTV? Well, maybe that's what they meant, although I'm pretty sure Frankie Valli and the Four Tops or the Four Seasons might disagree with that. I mean, it was just patently asinine, and to hear them like reaching and justifying for what about the Half Bowl show they didn't like. I lost my bloody flippin' mind. Okay. Yeah. Well, right, and then yeah, we can come down with a lot of examples of how just they were wrong. I, on the other hand, just decided to go full on, oh my god, you're so effing white! I did not use the word effing. I actually used the real one. It's so lovely that I don't fear for my job, because that possibly could have been a firing moment, but luckily my boss actually, she did laugh when I like started throwing at her all of the ways, all of the examples of what she's saying is wrong. She grudgingly admitted that she was wrong, but yeah, anyway. Andre, funnily enough, they came to Elvis on their own. Funnily enough, they did acknowledge Elvis. They did acknowledge Elvis. But he was an exception, apparently, or something. I don't really know how they talked themselves out of that one. But they did actually bring Elvis, and they're like, well, there was Elvis. I mean, it's sort of funny. All right, then. So, what I was trying to... wow, getting sidetracked. What I was going to talk about other than this halftime show was, how do you guys boil your eggs? Because we kind of got to talk about food, right? We've got 10 minutes to talk about how do you guys boil your eggs? I boil my egg by, I take a little pin, or even a knife tip, or even a thumbtack. I don't have a thumbtack, but you know what a thumbtack looks like. And I take my egg, the raw egg, and on the fat side, I pierce it. I put a little hole in it. And then I put it in cold water, and I bring the cold water to a boil. And as soon as it brings to a boil, so loud that you can hear it from the other room, I remove the pot from the heat, put a lid on the pot, and I let it sit for 6.5 minutes. And then I ice bath it. And 6.5 minutes gives me a good ramen egg. It's semi-set in the middle, but it's still kind of gooey. But if you want it more than that, then obviously a 8 or 9 minute bath would be great. But I never boil the eggs for very long, and to cook them, basically, because that's how you get the green stuff. And you might wonder, why is it that I poke a hole in it? Does anybody know why you poke a hole in it? And Darlene, you do it in cold water with a pinch of salt. Bring to a boil about 3 to 4 minutes. Why do you put salt in the water when you're cooking them? Because, I mean, the salt can't penetrate the eggshell, does it? Does it? I mean, I wouldn't think it does. Do you just put salt in because that's habit when you're boiling water? Because I could totally see myself doing that. Totally. And Shock, the green is from cooling them too slowly. I don't know if it's that. I think it's from overcooking them, which overcooking them can happen if you cool them too slowly. But it's definitely not, it's not the prettiest look, and I absolutely try not to boil my eggs so they get green. And so Si Honda uses an egg cooker, and I also poke the wider side. All you do is add a little bit of water, perfect every time. Si Honda, I don't have an egg cooker, but boom, poking the egg is a really, really, really good a good plan, especially if you're going to be making deviled eggs. Now, if you're going to be making egg salad, egg salad where everything's all chopped up, doesn't really matter. But if you're going to be making deviled eggs and you want them their outsides all purdy like, it's good idea to poke a little hole on the wide side of the egg where the little egg spot, the air pocket is, because that way, it's basically a steam vent. And so once the stuff starts cooking inside and starts steaming, it has an escape vent as opposed to using a hairline fracture that the eggshell might have. And then when the hairline fracture, if there wasn't that hole, the hairline fracture, the steam would escape through the hairline fracture, and then you'd have that weird the weird brain escape, that escaping white. And that's not pretty. We don't want your deviled egg to look like that. You don't want that. That's not pretty. And so in order to prevent the by the way, that's the technical term. They use that in you have to do the hand motion and the head tilt and the word. That's the technical reference for what the egg does. You don't want that. And that's why the little hole in the egg helps that not happen. And so let's see here. Darlene, you don't know why you do it. Your mom did it or your grandma did it. So you just do it too. That is the best reason ever, actually. And I agree though, but the concerns that we have with the salt is the salt water does affect the boiling point. And so it does affect how long to cook the eggs. And if I remember correctly, but I might not be, so somebody correct me, salt water boils at a lower temperature, doesn't it? So like it might not be 212, it might be like 209. Or does it boil at a higher temperature? It might not be 212, it'd be like 215. But I do know that it is a thing that matters. And then Andre, salt is added to boiling water when cooking eggs, primarily to help seal any cracks that may occur on the eggshell during boiling, preventing the egg white from leaking out. Whatever, they say it's preventing the egg white from leaking out. I know what they really mean is it's preventing the although the evidence for this is debated. Essentially, the salt helps the egg white solidify more quickly around any cracks due to its effect on protein denaturation. All right, there we go. Terry in Scotland's covering his eggs with water at least 1 inch. Ooh, I don't cover them that much. Bring the water to a rolling boil over high heat. Once boiling, turn off the heat, cover the top, and let the egg sit for 9 to 12 minutes, depending on your desired level of doneness. All right, there we go. Yeah, so seems like a lot of us know we don't need to do a rolling boil. My mom used to boil eggs until they were, she would talk about hard boiled. She would hard boil the eggs, like bubbling boiling for 9 minutes. Trust me, they were done. And let's see here. Darlene, you're going to try the poked hole vent method and not use the salt. Well, or por qué no las dos? Try it both. But I will say that first off, poking a hole in the egg can be intimidating, but don't be scared. It actually is easier than you think. But not only that, they have contraptions. And see, this was the picture that I was going to try to download for you guys. They have contraptions to poke egg holes in the egg bottom. But remember, it's the fat side, not the narrow side. It's the bigger side that you want to go boop, boop, boop. And Rick says, Google says, hard-boiled eggs develop green around the yolk due to chemical reaction between iron in the yolk and sulfur in the egg whites. The reaction is typically caused by overcooking the eggs, but it can also be triggered by a high amount of iron in the cooking water. Interesting. Okay. And Terry in Scotland coming in with a pro tip. Using room temperature eggs can help prevent cracking during cooking. Adding a teaspoon of vinegar to the water can help prevent cracking if you're concerned about it. Cooking time can vary depending upon your altitude, the size of the eggs, and the ratio of water to eggs. Adjust as necessary. Absolutely. That is very true. But I don't really know if I believe that the vinegar helps prevent cracking. I've also heard that people use baking soda for the same reason. And vinegar and baking soda, by the way, are opposites on the pH scale. So I don't know. Then again, my little steamy method might be a wives' tale as well. But I do know that Victorian egg cup kits, that would come with egg cups, an egg piercer, an egg topper, and egg cups, an egg piercer, and an egg topper. Oh, and the little spoons. So people have been piercing eggs for quite some time. And Andre, didn't Ronco have a device to scramble the egg in the shell? I do believe they did. Well, okay, I don't know if it was Ronco, but of course it was Ronco, right? But I do think that was a thing. Yes, that did exist. Whether or not it was Ronco that did it, I don't know. But then again, what other company would have made that? That was totally Ronco, right? Right. All right, you guys. So the next question is, where are you finding eggs these days? Last couple of visits to our Costco, no eggs. Rick, I can tell you right now. And C Honda coming in. Yes, my kit came with an egg piercer. It makes it safe to poke. See, y'all, the egg piercing is an actual thing that even modern day peeps do. And Chuck, I see what you're doing, and I'm trying to listen, but I've got an important thing to say to Rick, and anybody else who's looking for the eggs. My bartender last night just told me that, now this is probably going to vary from location to location, but still, here we go. The Costco's here in our area, Puget Sound area, get eggs delivered on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Saturday. I don't know why Tuesday and Wednesday, and then a break, and then Saturday. But Tuesday, Wednesday, and Saturday. People know this, and they line up waiting for the eggs. Because eggs are so difficult to find, and because Costco is limiting your purchases to 1 crate per person, the Chinese food restaurant that I go to has... they're not serving egg foo young anymore. They don't have enough eggs. They're, so they're desperate for eggs, and so they've literally been sending all of their people individually to buy the one carton that they're allowed. Either way, my bartender and her boyfriend both went down to Costco to buy their allotted 1 carton each, or 1 case each. And by 9:30 in the morning, there was barely any eggs left. So what you're going to need to do is find out when your Costco gets their eggs delivered, and you're going to have to be there on those days in the morning. At least that's how it's working out right now in the Seattle area. Obviously, it sounds like other areas are a little bit different. Mama Sean says that they had a limit of 3 today, so that's pretty good. Exactly, Shock. The bartender went down to Costco looking for some eggs to steal. She was way behind. She was she was looking to make a deal. That's exactly it. And so Darlene's saying we've been having better results at some of our different stores. Right. There you go. $8 for 18 eggs at Costco. That's not a bad deal at all. And Terry in Scotland's just like, all y'all are invited to come over to the UK to get some eggs. Let's see here. Just stand outside and look pitiful. Folks will know you're an American suffering from egg withdrawal. They will give you eggs. Nice. And Shock, you got a dozen for $4.49. That is a nice deal. I remember when they used to be 90 cents, 99 cents, 89 cents a flipping dozen, but Andre, you've got 4 or 5 dozen eggs in your fridge right now. Well, look at you, Mr. Wealthy Pants bragger. I have myself 10 eggs in my fridge, and I'm taking them out one by one to be used very judiciously. Okay, so we are now 3 minutes past the bottom of the hour. We did not look at a map today, so we definitely failed ourselves that way. And let's see here. Shock. Apparently the price hike is just because the supply actually isn't down that much. Yeah, I'm not at all surprised. Not at all surprised at all. But apparently I was reading an article. The state of Washington is suffering from a particular shortage for some reason, or so they like to say. And my Fancy Pants eggs that I get from my greengrocer, they have gone up, but They're only $9 a dozen as opposed to $9.49 a dozen at the grocery store. So they're still cheaper, even though they're stupid expensive, which is why I'm eating my eggs very sparingly and judiciously. And let's see here. We saw a flag on the music video. Well, that's true, but a flag is not a map. And so maybe a map for Wednesday's chat. That sounds like a very good plan, Stan. So we didn't have a map, but we did have food. We almost didn't have a Lono break, but it eventually showed up 15 minutes late. And then we had, well, a really long, boring conversation about sports ball and the music in it. I really appreciate you guys hanging out because it was a long first hour of this particular chat show. But then Lono came to break up the monotony. And then we talked about eggs. So, Wednesday, 5 p.m. West Coast time. Where are we going to put our eggs on the map? I don't know. I don't really know what I meant by that. So, have yourselves a good night. Don't forget to look for eggs. And we will hopefully see each other Wednesday, 5 p.m. And this Saturday, coming up at Satterbox at the cinema, we're going to be watching Jackie Brown. It's a Quentin Tarantino film starring Pam Grier. One of my favorites, Jackie Brown. All right, there we have it, Rabbit. Thank you so much. Oh my God, no. Thank you, mods. Thank you, everybody. But especially thank you guys for bringing that hype train to level 7. Thank you guys for bringing a hype train. Thank you guys for hanging out and bringing a hype train. But thank you for bringing it to level 7. And thank you for the chat. All right, now, I think we might be done. Take care, y'all.